Hello, fellow fans, to United We Fan Plus. We're back and better than ever. Well, I'm going to think so, anyways. With me is my co host, as always, the Uber Brian. What up, Brian?
Hey everyone, I'm Uber again.
Look, look, I can only call you terrific, brilliant, amazing, um, scrumptious so many times.
I'd rather prefer not to go scrumptious ever again.
Crumbly.
Also, I know what it is. You lost track of the alphabet where we were on UWF plus.
That's all. What do you know what letter we're on? I'll come up with some right now.
No, I do not.
There we go. All right. Welcome, fans, to United We Fan Plus. Big news happened recently with Disney Plus. So, of course, we're going to unite to talk about it. Today, we did record our upcoming episode of United We Fan, the podcast, where Brian and I battled it out, boy bands, NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys. And we had some really great co-hosts with us, Kara, Jalen, and Sarah helped us decide the winner of Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. Did I get Brian to say bye to NSYNC? Did Brian maybe show me the shape of his heart and come around to the Backstreet Boys? Find out on Wednesday as we do Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. And everyone at home, let us know, if you have a favorite of the boy bands, maybe not one of them, or maybe one of them. Let us know what some of your favorites are. But Brian, Disney Plus. Big announcements, lots of title cards, lots of coming 2022 release dates. I'm still excited. That's the power of Disney, is to just show a title card and still have everyone excited. And I'm there for it. And I loved what they did in the parks as well. That was fun. I know it went well. So they're going to be doing that next year as well. So that's great news for Disney.
Yeah, next year Disney Plus Day. I mean, if they keep it on November 12th, like they should, it's going to be a Saturday next year, so it'll be a little bit different approach on several different things. But if you're going to celebrate the anniversary, you might as well do it on the anniversary.
Right.
Mark and Dwayne are giving me crap in the comments saying I am Mark. I don't know what any of that means, but anyway. So you were in the parks on Disney Plus Day. I know they were giving out buttons and hats and all that kind of stuff. I was at the Magic Kingdom that night. Most of the stuff was gone. The Magic Kingdom was absolutely bonkers that night. Like, we are getting back into our holiday crowds back in the parks. So, but I think the parks, it was pretty successful. So that was really cool. So you talked about everything with Disney Plus Day. I think a few people had some misconceptions as to what Disney Plus Day was supposed to be. So when we go back to Disney Investor Day that we did on December 10th of last year, there was so many announcements, but a lot of that was for Disney investors. They were showing kind of what the future of Disney content was going to be. And that,
Brian, I get it.
Yeah. So that was theatrical releases, Disney Plus, everything.
You're showing up as Mark Valentine.
Oh, I got it. I can fix that, I think. Let me fix that.
Mark, you're always with us. I'm gonna tap dance and distract everyone as we fix that.
So that's what Disney Investor Day was. They were announcing theatrical releases. They were announcing direct-to-consumer content. They were announcing their entire business as a whole, which included Hulu and ESPN Plus and National Geographic and everything else. With Disney Plus Day, it was all focused on Disney Plus stuff. So anybody who says, why didn't they announce the cast to the Fantastic Four? Fantastic Four is going to be a theatrical release. Why didn't they do X, Y, and Z? Everything about it. And when you think about it, especially from a Marvel standpoint and even a little bit of a Star Wars standpoint, I will say the Star Wars stuff was pretty underwhelming with the number of announcements that we got. But Marvel didn't announce a ton of new stuff, really. All they did was give us new title cards, new logos to things that we already knew about. Even the Agatha Harkness show, it was officially now confirmed by Disney, and Agatha House of Harkness is such an amazing title. I can't wait for that show. You know how much I love Agatha Harkness, how much I love Catherine Hahn. So we'll talk more about the Marvel stuff here in a little bit. I think the other part is it was not what Disney Investor Day was, nor was it supposed to be. Now, that being said, I think Disney amped it up a little bit more than what they delivered on. So I can understand that everybody feeling a little bit underwhelmed when we got to the end of it. But as it becomes more and more of that fake unofficial national holiday kind of deal, I think people will be getting. I mean, Shang-Chi, it was a great ad for Disney Plus Day. Honestly, the coolest thing for Disney Plus Day was for me releasing a bunch of those Marvel films in IMAX enhanced. I love
Yes.
the movie I'm watching takes up my full television screen.
Yes.
I hate 2.35 to 1 ratio, and even the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows all do it. Like, I love when my whole TV is filled with what I'm watching. But
I love the widescreen, but I went back and I watched Iron Man in the IMAX
oh yeah,
upgrade, and you see a difference. I hope others see it. I know like we're like cinephiles, so I'm hoping others see it, but I've already done Black Widow in the IMAX enhancement, Shang-Chi, Iron Man, and the first Avengers. So I'm really upset. They didn't do Captain America, First Avenger, or Civil War, or sorry, or Winter Soldier.
I was gonna
So if
say
I want to watch,
they did, but I don't
if
know if
I
either of those were released in IMAX originally. Were they?
I know. Well, they did Iron Man. That's why I was hoping maybe for it. So, but Civil War is it? So I have some like Captain America and the IMAX upgrade.
Yes. I watched Shang-Chi. It just looks so good.
I love that movie.
I love when yeah, Shang-Chi's so good.
I think Shang-Chi is moving in, or it's in my top 10, I think.
Well, before we talk about what was announced, let's talk about what was brought to Disney Plus on Disney Plus Day. Or excuse me, on Disney Plus Day. That's what they call it. I said it too many times in a row. Have you
Yeah.
checked out the new Home Alone movie yet? Home Sweet Home Alone?
I didn't. I'm a very big walking contradiction. I'm over here trying to make it to December 1st before I unload all holiday movies. I'm probably not going to make it past Thanksgiving week. Um, I'm over here trying to wait, but then again, I'm on like my third purchase of eggnog. I had it back in early October when I first saw it, and then I went to Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm a walking contradiction as far as when I get into the holiday spirit. So I haven't. I'm excited for it. The first two Home Alones are. I almost said Halloween. The first two Home Alones are good stuff. The third one, okay, and then after that, it hurts. So I was a little nervous,
How many
but I
more are there? Like I knew
I
about
think
the third one, but I didn't know there was more than that.
I think there's 5. It's not as bad as Land Before Time, but, I'm excited. The young actor who plays the new character, I love him in Jojo Rabbit, so I'm excited.
Oh, is that the kid? The kid from Jojo Rabbit is who's in the new Home Alone?
Yorkie, I need a cuddle. Yep.
The World According to Jeff Goldblum, season 1
Yes.
was really good. They released the first episode, 5 episodes of season 2. I want to spend the rest of time talking about Olaf Presents, which would actually be less time than the length of that entire 5 episode run. It was not very long, shall we say? But what they did give us was exactly what people loved about the recap of Frozen in Frozen 2 from Olaf. I thought it was really, really funny. Did you get a chance to check this out?
I watched it today because I had a feeling you were gonna ask me about it, so I wanted to be prepared. I think my favorite 2 segments were the Aladdin one and the Tangled one. I had to pause it when Olaf did the smolder in Tangled.
I don't know why he grunts the way that he does.
Mm. It wasn't quite a Roy Kent grunt, but yeah, it was interesting.
I thought they were hilarious, like him acting like I mean, not to spoil anything, but the way Ursula dies, like, is really funny, like, especially if you know Olaf and his dialogue. I just thought it was good. The Moana one was my favorite. I think
Yeah.
Marshmallow as the Cave of Wonders was a hidden gem, and then Mufasa, like, it was all great. I have not checked out Ciao Alberto, which is a short film in the Luca universe. My favorite thing that hit Disney Plus on Disney Plus Day, other than Shang-Chi, was Under the Helmet, The Legacy of Boba Fett. It was shorter than I wanted it to be, but it was a fun documentary on the character of Boba Fett. Did you get a chance to check that one out?
I'm sorry. There's so many. That's what she said, and I'm like keep reminding myself that we're on a Disney show right now. But hopefully, the Earth's Mightiest Weirdos out there are giggling. I, Brian, I'm so sorry. Which one did you ask me about? I got sidetracked by The Office.
The Legacy of Boba Fett.
Yes, that's right. I enjoyed it. I put it on. Not really. I didn't know how long it was going to be and all that jazz, but I actually enjoyed it. I loved when they were dressing up Boba Fett, and you were like, he needs a cape. Oh, grab that. And it's a beach towel, a Star Wars beach towel. That's great. And then I loved the footage at the end of the parade, the kids being just so excited to see Vader and Boba Fett. I I thought that was a great thing. So I enjoyed it. I agree. I think it I hope maybe Star Wars expands on this concept of kind of doing like Marvel's doing with the backstory on characters. Star Wars starts doing that.
Sarah brings up he loved when Maui changed into Sven and wonder if they used the original movie animation sequence. I'm glad somebody else caught that because in Moana, when Maui is having problems with his fishhook, he actually turns into Sven for half a second, and they did the same thing there, and I thought that was really really clever. Um, Marvel Studios Disney Plus Day Special. Most of it was a year in review. I was kind of bummed about that, and then we got a little bit which we'll talk about later on. Pixar, kind of honestly the same thing, a short 4-minute thing. But then we got Hawkeye's Marvel Studios Legends, Marvel Studios Assemble, the making of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That Marvel Studios Assemble show is really good. If you're not watching it, please watch it. I haven't seen all of the Shang-Chi one. And then Jungle Cruise and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings all hit. And we talked about the IMAX enhancements. So some of those are some of the new things that hit Disney Plus, including the long-awaited film Enchanted is now finally on Disney Plus, which people are excited about as well. I think one thing that led to the people that thought Disney Plus Day was a bit of a bummer is the very first announcement was Ice Age: The Adventures of Buck Wild will premiere on January 28th. I don't know why you don't kick off Disney Plus Day with a massive big one. Like, I don't know why you don't do Marvel or Kenobi first. Like, I don't understand the thought process there other than building it up, I guess. But we got Ice Age, The Adventures of Buck Wild. Mark, do you have anything about Ice Age? Do you like the Ice Age films? Talk about how many movies there are at this point.
I know. No, they kind of lost me after the second one. I know my nieces enjoy Ice Age and Sid, but I think people need to remember the Ice Age movies have made a lot of money. They're very popular, just like the Minions movies. I think people underestimate how much like Despicable Me and Ice Age have made. They're money makers. So it was a huge plus when Disney bought Fox because of the Ice Age title. So do I agree that they led off with the wrong thing? Yes. I didn't understand that. But, Ice Age is still very popular.
And everything that I say is literally just in order of how Disney Plus gave it to us. So there's no rhyme or reason to dates or really anything that what they did. The next thing they gave us was a trailer for the Baymax series, which premieres in summer of 2022. I thought it looked good. It doesn't seem like it's going to be anything like the Big Hero 6 show, which is far more quote unquote action packed than everything else. It seems like it's going to be more following Baymax around and let Baymax be funny and fat.
I love Baymax.
I do too. Cheaper by the Dozen, starring Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union, will hit Disney Plus early to mid 2022. And then the next one, which we actually have a photo for, is going to be Disenchanted, which is the second part to that Enchanted film that people have been waiting long for it to be on Disney Plus. Mark, have you checked out Enchanted since it hit Disney Plus? Do you like Enchanted, and are you excited for the sequel?
Love Enchanted. Love it, love it, love it. Still hilarious. I love the little squirrel. And it's like, he's good. I love that part. I have not checked it out since on Disney Plus. Not yet. I'm not gonna lie, I've been obsessed with Shang-Chi. So I will be watching it. I'm excited for the second one. I think this second one, I am way more excited for this second one as opposed to another second one that was announced. So
Mark says Disenchanted. Isn't that the new fireworks show at the Magic Kingdom?
hmm.
We'll just let that one sit there.
Yeah.
Katie says, "Did you see Intertwined? It's a Spanish dub series on Disney Plus. It's a musical. I did see that. I didn't know anything about it, so that's my fault for skipping over it."
It's sitting in my queue. As soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna watch it.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. If you're one of the people out there that's been looking forward to this film, you'll be happy to know that Diary of a Wimpy Kid will be hitting Disney Plus in like 3 weeks on December 3rd. They're also getting a spin-off called Roderick Rules, which is coming as well. That was an official announcement. I don't think that was anything that anybody knew about. I will now cede the floor. The first part of a three-part series for The Beatles Get Back will premiere on Thanksgiving Day. Mark, we got some stuff from the Beatles doc. Did you see it? Are you excited for this Beatles doc that's coming?
I'm extremely excited for it as a Beatles fan. Also, Peter Jackson is a wonder documentary filmmaker. How he restores film, how he pieces it together, the footage that he has. So you have greatness working with greatness there. Um, Sir Paul McCartney has even talked about it. Ringo has talked about it. They're all excited for it. Um, I will be watching this right away. I'm digging the tracks that are making their way to Spotify already ahead of time. I think the only thing that would make this better is if they would show it like even a limited engagement in theaters. Oh my god, in Dolby, I would be the happiest person in the world.
I am not a Beatles fan, and we'll just leave it at that. I don't know if I'll watch it. I do like musical documentaries behind the music and everything they do on VH1. Like I do like those kinds of things, so I will probably eventually get to it, but I don't feel like getting yelled at about my Beatles opinions today. So we'll move on to one of the best announcements for the day, and that was John Mulaney and Andy Samberg came on screen. They showed us a version of their script that they were sent, the little baby script for Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. It'd be funny if that was real. I'm sure it's not, but it'd be funny if it does. I do like the coffee rings and everything on it. It's pretty funny. But Chippendale Rescue Rangers is set for spring of 2022. It'll be weird to hear their voices coming out of Chippendale, but I cannot wait for it. There's rumors of a Darkwing Duck spinoff coming from the same people. So will Darkwing Duck appear in Rescue Rangers? It's possible. I'm very excited about it. I know nothing about Zipper or Gadget or Monterey Jack, but if you don't have any of them, then it is not the Rescue Rangers. So I'm sure those characters will also be included, but I don't know who's voicing them. Nothing about it, but I am all in on Chippendale Rescue Rangers. How about you?
I'm there. I love Andy Samberg. John Mulaney is good stuff, especially as Peter Porker. Um, I I need to see footage of them. I'm a little like some of these voice castings have me scratching my head a little bit. This one, I'm gonna trust in them. They're comedic geniuses. I'll go with it, but I'm a little curious about it. Darkwing Duck, my favorite Disney character. I'm hoping that does come true. Will be excited and ready, and let's get dangerous.
Nice. I Darkwing Duck's made a comeback in the new DuckTales show as well, which is
Yep.
now over. But my kids are big into that DuckTales show, so um,
Woohoo.
I life is like a hurricane. Better Nate than ever. It is not a spinoff about Nate Shelley from Ted Lasso, as much as it sounds like it might be. Something about a musical, something or other. I know nothing about this, but it is a Disney Plus original film that will be coming in spring of 2022. If you are in the comments and you care, please let us know. Fall of 2022, we are getting Hocus Pocus 2. Somebody talks about how those women haven't aged. This might be true, but the older you get, the less you age from year to year. I don't care about this film. I don't understand the hype about the first one. If you do like Hocus Pocus, please let us know. Let us know what we're missing. Because Mark, you're not as anti Hocus Pocus as I am, but you're not like all in either.
I love the first Hocus Pocus. Do I think it's a little over popular, overrated? Yes.
I think that's the problem is here in Florida, like everybody feels like they need to out Hocus Pocus the other person, and that just makes me hate it more.
Yeah, I do love Hocus Pocus. Um, this one had me going, do we need it now? We needed it maybe 10 years ago. Um, so we'll see what they have to do. I'll watch it, guilty, but I'm more excited for Disenchanted.
Me too. Disenchanted's gonna be awesome. Even though I don't like Susan Sarandon, but maybe she won't be in the second one.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Well, she did. Her dragon did perish in the first one.
I am get off my lawn today, guy, aren't I? Today, I'm in a bad mood.
I mean, a little bit. Even during our Backstreet Boy and NSYNC, you left off some of the cute romantic songs. So, yeah, just a little cold-hearted today.
Brian's here. How you doing, Brian? Sarah says that David Tennant was a good Scrooge McDuck. Absolutely, I
Yes,
agree with that.
I
David
I
Tennant.
like the Ducktales reboot. I was surprised when that was canceled.
I don't love the animation style.
Really?
I like the stories. That animation style just doesn't work for me.
Mm.
Pinocchio, something that was announced on Disney Plus or on Disney Investor Day a year ago. Again, we got more details on it. Pinocchio with Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, who was just cast as Elphaba in the Wicked musical as well. Luke Evans, voice talents of Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Keegan-Michael Key. Pinocchio will be coming out fall of 2022. Tom Hanks is doing a lot of this straight to streaming stuff, man. I want to know what kind of paycheck he's getting for that.
He's not thrilled about it because I know he had I think it was Greyhound, his World War II epic on Apple Plus.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy that went there. He thought that was a theater movie. I did see his newest one, not Filch, Finch. That one was cute. I thought that was okay for Apple Plus. So this one,
I didn't see Finch. It was not appealing to me. Was it any good?
it was good, but I'm glad I saw it at home on Apple Plus.
Yeah.
Um, it,
Yeah, Mark says Greyhound was meh and Finch was good. If
I liked Greyhound, but then again, I like epic war flicks. But that's just it. I think Greyhound on the big screen would have been better. Finch was good. It's so many movies about a character trying to help them grow up, but it's good. Tom Hanks is great in it, like always.
we got some updates on Limitless with Chris Hemsworth. Man, he's a handsome dude. He's just a good-looking dude. That's going to be a fun show. And then something very similar to that we're going to get first is Welcome to Earth with Will Smith. I am so stoked that they didn't change the name Welcome to Earth because they talked about it potentially not being named that. But if you're going to have Will Smith, you got to stick with Welcome to Earth.
Earth.
And that premieres on December 8th. So that's coming very soon.
See, look at that photo. Brian, everyone makes fun of me on my social media because I don't really know how to smile. So I always do the look up photo. Will Smith does it too. See, it's a thing.
I think Will Smith knows how to smile, though.
Well, yeah, he does have a great smile. Brian, don't out me like that, okay? All right.
I didn't say you didn't have a great smile. I just said you don't ever do it. Will Smith does do it sometimes.
That's true. Lori's over here. Best single star is Justin Timberlake, but Backstreet Boys are the better band. I don't think I can argue with that.
Give us a listen on Wednesday, Lori. That episode will be out. And I will say, I had more fun recording this episode of United We Fan than I've had recording any individual episode of United We Fan. It was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, you hear that, Ted Lasso and Office fans? Move over, Broadway fans. Brian has a new favorite episode.
I said while recording during Ted Lasso and during The Office, it was more adding sound effects in later.
That's true. Guys, this one, I really wish we had a Patreon or you all could see us while we're making episodes. There was a lot of dancing, lip singing, out loud singing, facial reactions whenever we would say a fact that was either a true fact or fake fact. So the behind the scenes of this one are legendary.
Dwayne says that Will Smith is just mimicking you.
Do you see it? Yeah.
Lori and Dwayne have seen both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys in concert. Lori and Dwayne are like my favorite people on the planet. I love them.
It's on my list to see Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I got to see the Joey Fatone sing. I'm pretty good with that.
I would see BackSync. Like if that actually goes on like a national tour, I would see that.
That'd be epic. Oh, yay. New Kids on the Block. They're a favorite of mine. Good job, Sarah.
Sneakerella. It is a new play on Cinderella regarding basketball sneakers. There is a trailer. It looks okay. Like it's going to be a Disney Plus original movie. Comes out February 18th. it looks okay. Like I'm fine with it.
I actually am rather tempted in this one. I was like, that looks pretty cute. Okay.
It screams DCOM. Like I'm ready for the Disney Channel original movies to come back. So like
Yeah.
I'm good with it. Like it's a bigger budget DCOM for me. So I'm good with it. That's what Disney Plus is also supposed to be. It's supposed to give us stuff like that for not for
Yep.
us, but for kids. Something I know several of our listeners of United We Fan are happy about. Mark, were you a Proud Family fan?
Uh
Not really. It came a little bit too late in my life. I think that's really what it
I
was. Is I was kind of a teenager when it came out.
yeah.
So, but the
I
Proud Family's coming back.
I thought it was fun stuff. Did I like I wouldn't say fan. I thought it was fun stuff though.
The Proud Family Louder and Prouder will premiere. It's a series premiering in February of 2022. High School Musical, the series. I still wish they had come up with a better name. Season 1, they obviously did High School Musical. Season 2, they did Beauty and the Beast. They have now announced that in 2022, they will release Season 3, and they are doing Frozen. I'm good with that. Mark, you don't seem okay with that. Frozen's good. I like Frozen. So anybody that tackles Frozen, I am there for it. I would assume most of the cast is coming back. I know Olivia Rodrigo is maybe outgrown the show at this point. I don't know if she's still on it or not. Stay tuned. I just barely learned who Olivia Rodrigo is, so I'm not the right guy there.
Brian.
They're doing a television show. This was an announcement, I believe. I don't think we knew anything about it before. They're doing a live action The Spiderwick Chronicles, and some of the concept art for that looked really, really cool.
So excited. I haven't read all of them. I started reading it. I dug the movie. I know it didn't do that well. I liked the movie. I'm excited for this series. Disney with Percy Jackson, with Spiderwick Chronicles. I'm excited for all of that.
Mark says, good for her. She looks happy and healthy. I do know. I understood that reference.
Oh, Brian, good for you, buddy.
I did get it.
That TikTok's really paying off.
I cannot get you a better picture. I apologize, but I am just going to put the picture on the screen and I will let you go. Willow is going to be a series coming out in 2022. We got a great film of Warwick Davis talking to the cast of Willow. Mark, you're stoked for the Willow return.
I don't think people realize how hilarious Warwick Davis is.
He's so funny. He's so great.
Like several of his shows that he's done are hilarious. I thought this was a great them just owning it, that who really remembers Willow anymore. Talk about sequels that should have happened a long time ago. I'm here for it. I think Willow is one of I love this. I'm super excited for Willow.
It's got the kid that plays Flash in the new Spider-Man films in it. It's got Erin Kellyman, who, I mean, I will go out on a limb and say she's probably going to take drastic measures to sacrifice to a cause that she firmly believes in.
Oh,
I like Erin Kellyman. I do like Erin Kellyman. I think she's a good actress. It was funny how they poked fun at Solo, like saying, Warwick, I was in Solo with you. And he goes, oh, that's the only Star Wars film I've never seen. Like, because that's what everybody says about Solo. That was laugh out loud funny. Like Warwick Davis is very funny. I've had a chance to be in multiple panels at Star Wars Celebration, which he's the host, and he comes out more than an hour or about an hour before the actual panel starts and just talks to the crowd. I've got a cool selfie of me on the floor at the Mandalorian panel in Chicago, Star Wars Celebration in Chicago in 19. And I've got a picture of him. He rides around on a hoverboard because he just doesn't walk because he's got little legs. So like Warwick Davis is an absolute blast. He does a ton of stuff with Star Wars Celebration. He does a ton of stuff with Disney. Some really cool stuff there. Willow, it's a series. I think we knew it was a series, but now we know for a fact it's a series and kind of who's in it. And it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Jessica, fear not, we did bring up 98 Degrees. So tune in on Wednesday. We definitely talked about 98 Degrees.
We did. Obi-Wan Kenobi It is going to be a limited series in 2022. That is
Brian,
all that we know.
Brian, you missed your opportunity. You had the title there. All you had to do was go, "Hello there."
Sorry. Disney Plus even put that in their tweet. It's just too easy at this point. I went out on a limb to multiple of my friends trying to put the calendar together. I really thought that the announcement for Kenobi was going to be that it was starting on Disney Plus on May the 4th. May the 4th is even a Wednesday this year. It's perfect. It's the prime spot for new Disney Plus content. I'm still holding out hope, but the fact that they only said 2022 means it's not going to be ready by May the 4th, and we're probably not going to get it until the end of next year. But the stuff we did get, we got Old Man Kenobi on this animal, whatever it is. We know now for a fact that we are getting live action Inquisitors. This is the seventh sister in this photo right here. She was also featured in Rebels. We got Darth Vader. We know Hayden Christensen's coming back. The amount of excitement that you could hear, even in the director Deborah Chow's voice, but the amount of excitement that Ewan McGregor showed about returning to this role and having to lie about it for 4 years. We know that there's going to be a lightsaber duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, which does not retcon anything, because all that Darth Vader says is, "I haven't felt this presence since blank." And everybody just assumed that that's the lightsaber battle in Mustafar, but there's other ways in which they can continue this story. I would expect there still to be flashbacks, because I don't think you bring back Hayden Christensen just to cover him in a Darth Vader helmet the entire time. So I think we're going to get more flashbacks of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I cannot wait for this show. The more I see of it, the more I hear of it. The fact that it's probably next after the Book of Boba Fett is over in the Star Wars universe gets me that much more amped for it. As a casual Star Wars fan, Mark, am I over the moon on this too early, or are you excited for it as well?
No, this is going to be great. Obi-Wan Kenobi is a huge character. Ewan McGregor is a huge actor, both extremely popular. Both we've always wanted more, wish we could have had more since the prequels. So I think the excitement for this is huge. I'm excited for it. I like beyond excited, more than the Book of Boba Fett. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I'll say it. If I can't have my Jar Jar Binks Redemption Disney Plus series, then I will gladly have my Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Man, if they gave me a Jar Jar Binks and not an Obi-Wan Kenobi, I would riot.
Well, no, I want both.
It is not a hot take to say you're more excited for Obi-Wan than Book of Boba Fett for sure. Like, I think Book of Boba Fett's going to be awesome. But it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi's on a different level, especially with our generation. I can't wait for it. That was the only Star Wars announcement of the entire day. Lucasfilm only got Willow the series and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is kind of a bummer. Like, I was hoping for some sort of update on season 3 of The Mandalorian, which they're filming right now. Is Rangers of the New Republic still a thing with Cara Dune or with Gina Carano no longer in the Mandoverse? Is like, what's going to happen? We know Ahsoka's still coming. Deadline has reported that Hayden Christensen is also going to show up in the Ahsoka series, which means there's going to be flashbacks of Anakin Skywalker in that series too. So I'm excited. Go ahead.
We also heard the Patty Jenkins Star Wars is delayed.
We did not hear that on Disney Plus Day, but yeah.
True. Yeah. I was just adding on the bad news for Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, Rogue Squadron is indefinitely delayed. The more I think about it, like, she didn't handle criticism about Wonder Woman 84 very well. So then maybe the Star Wars universe isn't the next best place to come. They're having scheduling conflicts with Wonder Woman 3 and Patty Jenkins' work on that film. So Rogue Squadron, like, we might not see Star Wars in the theater for a little while longer. And honestly, I'm okay with it. Like, Mandalorian is the best Star Wars we've gotten in a long, long time. And it's on the small screen. So I'm good with it. Next, Larry the Cable Guy, of all people, came on the screen and told us that Mater and Owen Wilson as Lightning McQueen will be back for a Disney Plus series called Cars on the Road. Say what you will about Cars, man. Kids like it. And I think it's going to be fun. Like, hot take, Cars 2 is not the worst Pixar movie. If you need to know more about that, go back in the archives of United We Fan Plus, talking about ranking our Pixar films. It's not the worst one.
Yes, it is.
Zootopia Plus, which is basically a short form animation series that is supposed to be like what Disney Plus would be in the Zootopia world. We're going to get short cartoons of the Zootopia characters. Any more Zootopia you can give me, Mark, I'm good with it.
I'm excited for more Zootopia. The story is rich and needs more of it. I actually need to go back and watch Zootopia. It's been a while. Shout out to the DMV workers that dressed up as Flash for Halloween. Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, I think Mark says Zootopia needs a full film. I agree. Zootopia does deserve the sequel treatment. I'm good with that. Dwayne's with me, says Cars 2 is not as bad as The Good Dinosaur. I agree. I fully agree. Next thing, near and dear to your heart, Mike. Mark. We got an update on.
Who's Mike, Bryan?
I don't know. That's like the third time I've done that. We got an update on Tiana, which is a musical series that will be premiering long form animation musical series that will be premiering on Disney Plus in 2023. Mark, being a New Orleans guy, I would assume that you're excited about this one.
I'm excited. I'm still trying to wrap my head around long form musical series. But I'm glad Tiana is getting love.
I just think long form means it's not going to be the 7 or 8 minute episodes. Like I think they're going to be like 22 to 30-minute episodes.
Okay. I'm good with that. Like long form, like what does that mean? An hour episode? Like that's a lot for okay. But I'm good with it. Tiana deserves more love. I'm glad like this, Splash Mountain, all that. I'm glad Tiana's getting love.
I want to sidetrack for a minute. Dwayne says that they need to build Zootopia land in Animal Kingdom. Yay or nay? It'd be like a $2 billion enhancement. That's the only thing that I think is going to hold them back. I think it'll eventually happen because they're doing it in Shanghai or Hong Kong, one of the two.
One of them. I don't think it will be as great as you think it would actually be. Because if you had like a whole lot of performers, which I would love more chances for performers to be walking around performing as the animals, cool. But if not, I don't think it's going to be what you hoped it would be.
Putting on my speculation hat a little bit, I want to click my my pen here. I believe that the Tiana series and the relaunch of Splash Mountain are going to go hand in hand. I think that when we know a general time frame of when Tiana comes out is when we'll know a general time frame of when the new version of Splash Mountain is going to be open. I think that's going to be a hand-in-hand effort. It would make a ton of sense, especially if you're going to feature a new original song that they might be able to introduce in the show, something like that. I mean, I would assume the Splash Mountain is going to be more of a retelling of the original film, but maybe not. It might be its own original adventure. So I don't know, but I would expect that this Tiana TV show and the Splash Mountain retheme will go hand in hand.
Yep. I want to say that's great marketing, but then again, we remember Avatar was supposed to be near the second Avatar movie, and that didn't really happen. So you just never know how things line up.
Fair enough. Well, let's get into the last little bit. As announced on This Is Life yesterday, we're going through a small revamp of Earth's Mightiest Weirdos. We're going to be start getting more and more opportunities for other people to be on the show. So we will actually not get a chance to talk Disney Plus Marvel announcements on Earth's Mightiest Weirdos because we're going to return the week after Hawkeye premieres. So we're going to talk about the Marvel announcements tonight. So let us know what you're excited about from a Marvel standpoint as well. And then, Mark, I have a random Rushmore at the end of this whole thing.
Woo!
It's not so random, I guess, but we'll get to it anyway. So we're going to talk about the Marvel Plus announcements. First one, Marvel Studios Animation is doing an X-Men 97 cartoon based off of the original X-Men cartoon. They call it X-Men 97. I would assume that's going to continue the story that is already on Disney Plus now. They steered into the joke of Wolverine holding the picture frame and how much they missed it. It was a great joke. But Marvel Studios, it is by Marvel Studios. It's not Marvel Animation. It is Marvel Studios. I don't know if this is going to be part of the MCU canon proper or not. But Mark, we finally have our first official Marvel Studios X-Men project.
That was the only thing that had me was that they advertised the Marvel Studios above it.
which was
So
that really stood out to me.
so like at first I was like, yay, X-Men 97 Marvel Studios. So I don't know if maybe we're just overlooking it. I am surprised by this. I for the longest time thought the 90s Spider-Man series was more popular and bigger than the X-Men series. And then so often I'm like told, nope, the X-Men series, a lot of people like it more. I do think the X-Men series has aged better. So I'm all for it. I
I think Batman the Animated Series is the only series that rivaled the X-Men series for people.
I'll go with that. I don't agree. I think the Spider-Man intro song is better than the X-Men one, but I think it's like a difference of a like a 10 and a 9.8. So personally, so great stuff.
Hawkeye is next. We got about
Hawkeye.
2.5 minutes. We got 2.5 minutes of a scene, that car chase scene in Hawkeye that was part of the Disney Plus Day Marvel announcement. The 360-degree camera work in that scene was really, really great. Kate Bishop, man, I cannot wait for Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. I'm
Yep.
actually far more amped for Hawkeye than I thought I was going to be.
I'm there for it. I've been excited for it for a while. I'm glad Jeremy Renner knew better than to hurt that beautiful classic car in the parking lot, although it ended up still getting hurt anyways. But I think the series is going to be pretty great.
I'm excited to give us like a, for lack of a better term, a Die Hard in the MCU.
I am glad that it looks more like low budget, not a huge spectacle. So I am excited for a more not grittier, but a more low key Marvel flick.
I think you're going to have a lot of explosions.
As long as we have a lot of Rogers the musical, I'm there.
Did you hear there's an official like full length song? We know that much, and it was written by somebody from Broadway. But I don't. That's your world, man. I'm actually way more in on Hawkeye than I ever imagined. If you go watch Marvel Studios Legends, the Hawkeye episode, in my opinion, it is. Ooh, Mark says Born Legacy is wonderful.
I just went back and watched that like 3 days ago, and it is long and slow pacing. It should have been better.
What was I saying?
Man,
when you talk about
darn it, Mark.
But anyway, yeah. I expect the Marvel Studios Legends Hawkeye version, in my opinion, it's the best edited Marvel Studios Legends that's out there. The way they bounce in and tell the story of Hawkeye, even through Black Widow, which was a movie he never ever appeared in. Spoiler alert. I love the premise of Yelena Belova showing up thinking that Clint Barton is an enemy. I can't wait to see how Florence Pugh factors into this show. And we're gonna go ahead.
Brian, I love the Silver Surfer animated series. Huge fan of it.
Yes. I know Beeford loves that one. Next announcement on the Born Spectacular stunt show.
Yes, but Mark, wrong show.
All right. Well, the next announcement. So now from here, we think it's going in relative in the order in which they'll come out, because Miss Marvel was delayed. It was actually supposed to be before Hawkeye. Now it's going to be next summer. Next thing we got was Moon Knight. This visual of him jumping from building to building in front of the moon. The costume, from what we saw of it, looked awesome. I wish we'd gotten a full costume look, but jumping in from personality to personality, from Mark Spector to all the other personalities that he has, it sure seems like it's going to go dark, and Oscar Isaac seems to have a real grasp of what this role of Mark Spector is going to be. I can't wait for Moon Knight. That was really, really cool stuff.
I'm glad that they're keeping the horror element of the comic series. So, and Oscar Isaac is amazing. If you'd like to hear more of my thoughts on Oscar Isaac, tune into our Backstreet Boy versus NSYNC episode on Wednesday. Wait a minute, how is Oscar Isaac on that? You'll find out.
Next, we got a new title card for She-Hulk. We got just a really funny, like, old school lawyer commercial of Tatiana Maslany We saw Professor Hulk is back. He does not look like Bruce Banner in the post-credit scene of Shang-Chi. Multiple questions that I have there. This is the best look we got of Tatiana Maslany as the She-Hulk. Kevin Feige says she's 6'7" and green. That's what he said on Disney Investor Day last year. Some people are wondering why she isn't as big. Well, I mean, we might get that question answered for us. And the other reason is just maybe she's just not. Maybe that's just how it's going to be. But it's a comic accurate costume that she's got on. And we get a little bit of a snippet of her in a gold dress, kind of looking like Nebula in that second episode of What If. But you can see her green leg through the dress. I think the show's going to be awesome. I can't wait for it.
I'm beyond excited. They're going to break the fourth wall of everything I've seen from it. I was already super excited. Now I'm even more excited. I'm not a fan of the new title card for the show. It kind of, yeah, I got like a CW vibe from it. I definitely like the one they had before that. But either way, I am here for the show. I love She-Hulk. And some of the best Marvel artwork has been done for She-Hulk. So check it out wherever you can.
I'm super stoked for it. We know that Jamila Al-Jamil, I believe I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, I apologize. She played Tahani on The Good Place. We know she is playing Titania in She-Hulk as well. So she's going to be a villain in that show. That's going to be a lot of excitement there. Miss Marvel, like I said, it was supposed to be before Hawkeye. Now it looks like it's been pushed to number 3 in our upcoming projects after Hawkeye. We got more actual footage from the show. The way they're going to factor in Captain Marvel will be very, very interesting. I think the delay on this show was more about the Marvels being delayed than it was about anything else. I think that this show is going to be ready to go and fit right within the universe. But I think the timing of having this show come out closer to Captain Marvel 2 is going to be just the important thing there.
I'm excited for Miss Marvel. I hope they don't change up her powers. That's one of the things that makes her special, makes her unique, is her powers. And I'm worried they might try to give her some of Captain Marvel's powers. I'm like, no, the whole point is you don't have to be Captain Marvel to be a superhero, to be special. So I hope they don't change too much about the character.
I don't know how much they're going to change of the character's powers from the comic books. I can see why you would have that concern, especially from stuff we saw in the trailer.
Yeah.
But they're obviously changing the origin of how she gets her powers. There is nothing that makes us believe the Terrigen bomb is a thing within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We haven't seen MODOK. We haven't seen any of that kind of stuff. So I don't think the Terrigen bomb is going to be it. I'm really curious as to how she's going to gain her powers. I hope she sticks more comic book accurate powers than going Carol Danvers level. What If Season 2 was officially announced, so we know about that. Not an overall huge surprise. Fine by me. I don't love it or hate it, but it must have been successful enough because we're going to talk a little bit more about the animation here in a little bit. Echo is a series starring character Maya Lopez, who is going to be our first Native American superhero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. She's played by an actress named Alakwa Cox, who will be making her acting debut. And this character will be making their debut in the Hawkeye series as well. So Maya Lopez is the character in there. Her superhero name is Echo. This is massive for me, not as massive as I thought it might have been when we first got the announcement, but it is a Marvel Studios on Disney Plus getting away from Sony Spider-Man story. It's called Spider-Man Freshman Year. Now it is going to be animated. If you watch the Disney Plus Day announcement, you can see the part of that other screen tear off and you can see what the animation is going to look like, what Peter Parker is going to look like. The story that this is going to be telling is the origin story of the Peter Parker that we have before we meet him in Civil War. So it will be Tom Holland's version of Peter Parker and how he either is adapting to being Spider-Man or how he becomes Spider-Man, or obviously potentially both. The potential of Disney being able to carry on the Spider-Man name on Disney Plus free of Sony influence is massive, even if it's animated. I don't care. I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, no, this was one where a title card and then the alternate picture that has the visual of Peter underneath it. just wowed me so much. So this title card was a huge thing for me. So I'm excited. Like you said, it's great that Marvel gets to do something without Sony influence as far as we know. So I'm gonna go call it now. Tom Holland won't voice Peter Parker. I think it'll be I'm sorry I forgot his name who did it for What If. I think it'll probably be him.
Yeah, that I hope it's Tom Holland because you know how much I love Tom Holland, but I can understand that if it's not Tom Holland, why that they would go. And if you're going to go, I think the kid that did voice him in What If did a good
Yeah.
job.
I am stoked for Spider-Man freshman year for sure.
Are you mocking me?
No.
You were just
I'm just
asking.
giving our fans what we want or what they want.
That's fair. Sticking in the animation, another project that we did know about, I Am Groot. We don't know what it's going to do. It's just going to be a fun baby Groot animation. Now, they did put this in order. If they did put the titles in order of release, they did put this in front of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which we know is coming in holiday time of 2022. Just going to make you look like a fool now. We know that's coming in holiday of 2022. So I Am Groot, a short form animation series just following the adventures of Baby Groot. I don't expect there to be much from that. We did get a new logo for Ironheart. Riri Williams is the superhero there. She is an MIT grad who is basically going to become the new Iron Man. If rumors are to be trusted, she is going to make her MCU debut in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Talked about it earlier. Go ahead.
Ironheart's a great read. If you're ever looking for a good comic book, read Ironheart.
Talked about it earlier. Officially confirmed, Agatha, House of Harkness. Catherine Hahn will be returning as Agatha Harkness. We assume set in the town of Westview. We don't really know. Will it be just an Agatha Harkness origin where she goes from Salem in 1693 in WandaVision up until she gets to Westview in 2023? I don't know. I don't care. Give me more Agatha Harkness. Give me Agatha all along. We're getting our first What If spinoff. We assume it's a What If spinoff. Marvel Zombies, also animated. I'm okay. Are you excited about this one?
They did confirm it is in the same universe as the
Okay.
What
Yeah,
If Marvel
they
Zombies.
did kind of in the trailer, huh? That's right, with the
So,
Scarlet Witch.
so I think it'll be a lot of fun. I think people are more excited for it than I am. I don't think they're going to go as dark as the comic books. Like, if you want dark Marvel, see what Zombie Peter does to Aunt May and Mary Jane. Dark. I don't think we're going to go there.
This is a family show.
I know.
And the final one, I was surprised to see this come so late, considering the amount of casting announcements we've gotten from this show, including Olivia Colman, what's her name? Amelia Clark, Ben Mendelsohn returning as Talos. Like the amount of announcements we've gotten about Secret Invasion, I was surprised for this to come so late in the announcement, but we got a cool new scrolly looking thing there, and we got a visual of Nick Fury without his eye patch on, but give me more of Nick Fury and Talos. I'm good with it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be epic and a lot of fun. It will be interesting to see how the scrolls have changed from the comic book storyline. We've already seen that in Captain Marvel, so I'm curious to see how they're going to adjust the story for the new scrolls.
All right. Well, Mark, what are your 4 favorite announcements from Disney Plus Day? What are you most looking forward to?
She-Hulk, Spider-Man, freshman year, Willow, and Obi-Wan.
All right. I was hoping he was going to crack the top 4 there.
Yeah. I was trying not to go basic nerd, but I realized I did.
I thought
Lucasfilms.
I thought Beatles might make it.
Beatles is gonna be great, but Willow. Honestly, the preview with Warwick Davis is what beat out the Beatles for me. So
that was funny. That was great. Honestly, X-Men 97, like the potential of that is a lot of fun. I'm gonna put that on there. I mean, it's pretty corny to say like but Moon Knight is absolutely on there. Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I think I'm gonna have to stick in the Spider-Man or in the Marvel universe still. Like as much as I am for Spider-Man, Agatha House of Harkness, man. I love Agatha Harkness. I can't wait for that series.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
that's all we have from Disney Plus Day, Mark.
I know it was a lot, and I definitely agree with you. I was guilty of thinking of Investor Day as far as getting new and exciting footage. So once I calmed down and looked at what we were getting, I'm like, look, there's still a lot to be excited for. Get excited. Lots of great stuff is coming, coming, coming. YouTube, Facebook watchers, please give us a like, a follow. Follow this Diz Life, follow United We Fan. We appreciate all of it. United We Fan, like we said, we have a new episode on Wednesday, Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. In the meantime, if you're looking for some more fun, we have Ted Lasso, Indiana Jones, James Bond, Cinematic Wardrobe. We got a lot of fun stuff. So check us out, and we're definitely coming back with more United We Fan Plus next month. And then also this month, we'll have a Ghostbusters episode to celebrate the new film. So it'll be who you're going to call? United We Fan. That's who you're going to call.
Thank you so much, everybody. We appreciate it.